And how does that compare to what we're seeing today or have seen in the past?
It's a little more aggressive. It's they're taking into account a lot of the economic factors and advantages that the Twin Cities metro area has over some other national markets. And what they do is they calculate that based on the cost of land and the projected growth, and that's how they come up with their calculations.
When I hear $500,000 over 30 years, it doesn't seem like a lot to me, but when you break it down and say, well, if you're seeing 10,000 over the past, on average, and this projection is based off 13,000, I mean, that's a sizable difference.
It is, absolutely. And what we're trying to figure out is the report really tries to help the cities, or the Met Council's at the state level. They go down to the local city levels, and what they're trying to do is put together a combination of growth strategies, they allocate the dollars to the right cities where the growth will happen. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. They look at the employment situation in those cities. They look at the demographics. They look at the actual transportation needs. And they put all that together to come up with their budgeting for the future.
All right, so with this pretty aggressive growth spurt that they're projecting in the Met Council, what are some of the areas that are expected to see the most?
Well, that's an interesting question. One of the biggest cities, when we look at the entire report, which is available online, we take a look at Blaine. They're anticipating 397 units per year to be manufactured or produced for the next 30 years. They're going to see over a 50% growth spurt. On the south end of town, Lakeville is about 393. They're growing over 50%. Some of the other hot areas are Woodbury, Eden Prairie, Maple Grove, Brooklyn Park, Shakopee, Hugo, Prior Lake, Apple Valley.
So is it really a lot of the suburbs?
Yeah, it's a lot of the suburbs. What's interesting, though, is that the top two cities that are going to grow the most are actually Minneapolis first and St. Paul second by a city calculation. But when you look at the overall growth, a largest percentage will be on the suburbs, on the first and second ring suburbs.
You take it down to the county level. I think you have something that breaks that out. Explain
Yes,
that
I
if
do.
you would.
Well, the county level, what we did here is we had a breakdown of the different...
Sure, I can hold it.
Yep. A breakdown of the actual different counties, and these are the different representatives that cover those counties. We just did a quick visual on there so you can see some of the hotter cities and some of the top producing cities that will be producing the population spurts for growth.
All right, so this projection is over 30 years. So what about 10? Is it going to be a steady pace to get there for 30 years, or is it...
If we can answer that question, we...
In 10 years from now, are you going to see most of it, and then 20 years will be a much slower growth?
Yeah, I think that what happens is that a lot has to do with government regulation, it has to do with job growth, it has to do with, the economy itself. When people aren't employed, they don't go buy houses. If they have good jobs and they feel confident, they build houses. The mix of what we're going to see here for housing will vary from apartments to single-family homes to condominiums. And so when it comes to the single-family builds, like new construction, a lot of it comes down to the affordability of the land. And what I find to be interesting is with the cost of the infrastructure when they actually develop land. Like on your average $100,000 lot, a lot of the city fees on a local level are almost $50,000, in some cases even more, to produce those lots. And so if we could see some break at a lower level, you'll see different populations or different, I think, more aggressive cities that can lower their fees. We'll see more growth.
I guess this goes back to economics 101, supply and demand. So if you're looking to, would it be better to buy some land or buy a home out in the suburbs now, as opposed, and then as beat the rush, I guess?
Sure. The old location cliche, right? We all say it all the time. It's so true. I think people are looking for the same things. Nice place to raise their family, employment. They're looking for conveniences of shopping and transportation. And there are pockets right now in the Twin Cities where you see things like that. Like Linden Hills, for example, is a wonderful area. Lots of rejuvenation of an existing neighborhood. Lots of fun new restaurants, great transportation, close to everything. Those kind of neighborhoods will always be in demand. You get some of the farther out suburbs, the land might be more affordable. Like, for example, like right now in Watertown, we can buy lots for under $10,000 a finished lot. But the population doesn't go out there just for price. They look for the full package.
Interesting. Andy Prasky from Remax Advantage Plus. Andy, we can find the full link, and we'll put it with this story on KSTP.com. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thank you.